Hello students, I am Dr. Mohammed Zaheer and today I'll discuss leadership, and this is organizational behavior series. What is leadership? The meaning of leadership is we can see that leadership from two perspectives, process or property. If we see it as a process, then we see what leaders actually do. Leaders use non-coercive influence to shape the group's or organizational goals, or they motivate others' behavior towards goals, and they help to define organizational culture. As a property, we can say who leaders are. So characteristics attributed to individuals perceived to be leaders, and leaders are the people who can influence the behaviors of others without having to rely on force. People who are accepted as leaders by others. So just claiming that I am a leader is not enough. You should be accepted by others as a leader, and the leaders are using non-coercive methods to influence others. So leadership is the ability to influence a group towards the achievement of goals, and management is the use of it to obtain compliance from organizational members. So these both things are important. You should have ability to influence others, and you should have managerial authority to direct the behaviors of others. So these both things are necessary for organizational success. So we can see there is a difference between management and leadership. If we see the activity creating an agenda, leaders establish direction and vision for the organization, whereas the management uses planning and budgeting and allocating resources. When developing a human network for achieving the agenda, leaders align people through communications and actions that provide direction, and management relies on organizing and staffing, structuring and monitoring, executing plans. Leaders motivate and inspire by satisfying needs, whereas management use controlling and problem solving. And the outcomes: leaders produce changes and bring new approaches to challenges, whereas management relies on procedures, predictability, and order to attain results. So when we thought how we should define what leadership is, and and who is a leader, the most important and the rudimentary theories about the leadership are trait theories of leadership. These theories that consider personality, social, physical, or intellectual traits to differentiate leaders from non-leaders. For example, trait theories believe that leaders should be tall, leaders should belong to a noble family, leaders should be well educated, leaders should be white in color. But when we see Mahatma Gandhi as a leader, he was neither tall nor white. When we see Martin Luther King, who was not white person, and we have plenty of other examples. We can see Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah as a leader who was tall and who was very educated and who belonged to a noble family. So all the things are not predicted by the trait theories, not very useful until matched with the big five personality framework. So leadership traits are extroversion. Leaders are extroverts. They have conscientiousness, they have openness, and they have emotional intelligence. Leaders are emotionally intelligent. So traits can predict leadership, but they are better at predicting leader emergence than effectiveness. So then came the behavioral theories of leadership. These theories propose that specific behaviors differentiate leaders from non-leaders, not the traits but the behaviors. So difference between theories of leadership are trait theory, in which they say they must identify leaders based on certain traits, and behavioral theory says that leadership is a skill. It's a skill set and can be taught to anyone. So we must identify the proper behaviors to teach potential leaders. So important behavioral studies were conducted. First was done by the University of Iowa in 1930s by the Kurt Levin and Associates. They found that there are three leadership styles: autocratic leaders, democratic, and laissez-faire. Autocratic leaders are those who take decisions, who don't listen to others, who are authoritative by nature. While democratic leaders are basically the leaders who take others into consideration, they consult others, and they make a consensus decision making. While laissez-faire leaders are free rein leaders who actually empower their subordinates to work as they like. They least interfere. Then came the Ohio State University studies in late 40s. They found two key dimensions of leader behavior: initiating structure and consideration structure. In initiating structure, the defining and structuring of roles. The leader is defining who will do what, making the task easier. They are telling who will do what. And the other behavior is consideration. These are job relationships that reflect trust and respect, and both are important. And in 1940s again, University of Michigan studies also found two key dimensions of leader behavior: employee oriented behavior and production oriented behavior. So employee oriented leaders were those who emphasize interpersonal relationship, and the most powerful dimension is this: they basically think that a leader should be people oriented, a leader should be human oriented, and should be motivating them. And the other leadership behavior was production oriented. Some leaders emphasize the technical aspect of the job rather than emphasizing on the human aspect. So the dimensions of the two studies are very similar. Yeah, because employee oriented is consideration behavior, whereas production oriented is initiating structure behavior. So in today's lecture we discussed what is leadership, what are the trait theories, and what are the behavioral theories, and which important behavioral theories have been. I hope you have understood the concept of leadership and trait theories and the behavioral theories. Thank you very much.